Hey guys and gals, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk about Shokugeki no Soma or Food Wars Chapter 213, The Cup of Possibility. And it really is the Cup of Possibility. This was Soma's big shot, this was his time to get judged, and we finally got the understanding of what Soma was doing. Overall, it ends back in Soma is a master at dining cuisine, and this is ultimately a meal that kind of exemplifies that whole process. And I actually think it's pretty neat how they went around just describing his meal instead of going with what Nene went with last chapter about a meal that just you can't tell when it ends. This one became more of a meal that you share with your friends, like, you know, everyone's recommending each other, hey, like, try this flavor there. You know, I think it makes the eating process way more engaging, and it kind of touches me in a place because this is this kind of atmosphere, I think, when it comes to eating food, is the more enjoyable one for me personally anyway. Just having fun with your friends and having food together like that, and just having fun with, like, wow, this tastes really great, you know. So I think the chapter did a pretty good job at just expressing what was different about Soma's food over Nene's. The real question is whether or not this can beat not knowing when your food ends, you know, because Nene is something that she just gave food, and the effect was the judges just weren't aware of when the food had run out, and instead they thought that someone took their food from them. Soma's is more like, hey, let's eat this, and oh man, did you try this? You know, it's different processes. Really, I want to see the justification for why Soma's going to do better, or if he's going to do better. Like, the assumption is he's going to do better. Now, the chapter had other little things going on, especially the food explanation. I think, you know, there's not really much I can say about the food explanations besides the overall ideas that they're presenting, right? Soma's presenting the idea of cup noodles or cup yakisoba, you know, just instant noodles pretty much. And he's just talking about when he was a kid, how he thought it was the coolest thing ever, and he just wanted to make that thing pop up. We found out that in order to make his compromise work, he picked flour 3. Was that what they were calling it? He picked a variation of the flour that would maximize the flavor so that when he fried it, it wouldn't have compromised the flavor. And I thought that was a pretty neat little thing. I imagine this is true. I imagine because, like, they have a professional chef on their team when they come to make these chapters. But anyway, so doing that, you know, just exemplifies his expertise. And I also really did enjoy how they had the flashback to Ishiki, where him and Soma were pretty much talking that you should be prepared to deal with everyone's specialty, but the chances that you're going to have to deal with their specialty is very low. And it's just funny because we know that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to end up facing everyone's specialty. It's good, man. We know it's going to happen. No one is going to have to cook something outside their specialty unless it's a people on the rebel side. At this point, we might as well just expect to see that coming. But it's funny. The good thing is at least Soma was prepared for this kind of situation, and it really does ultimately does pop up, because there's no way Soma could have gone in this willy-nilly without knowing the different variations of the flour. Like, this one was a mediated attack. I definitely do think this was a mediated attack. Soma came up with his counter to the specialty that he could have run into, and then he executed it in this chapter, which it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Again, I think Soma's got the victory on this one, but that's just because I relate more to the process that the judges are describing when it comes to how they're eating that food. And we end off with typical Shokugeki no Soma fashion of a giant cliffhanger for next week. That's par for the course. That's totally expected. I'm not surprised that's what they did. I am really excited in just hearing, because I think at the end Charm leads off with he doesn't understand why this one dish is so good. So I assume he's talking about Soma's, but it's gonna be interesting to see what actually comes out of that. Other things to note in the chapter, Ishiki was giving us a play-by-play sort of, and he was also prevalent, or he showed up in the foodgasm scene. He was back in his naked apron, so I really think that sequence is just because they needed to show Ishiki like that at least once in this arc, and so they did. We also got to see the rest of the rebels just kind of admiring Soma's cooking, but we know that they're gonna do that. One of the funny parts with the Central side is the announcer. She was saying, "Oh guys, I wonder how bad tasting this thing is going to be." It's like, come on, man. This man is better than the majority of the student body. It's kind of stupid to assume that it's going to taste horribly. You know, that's just stupid. And it's just the author. They're just going in and they're just trying to paint the situation like, yeah, these guys really want Soma's group to fail. But at the same time, it's like, it hasn't even been a full year since the last time they saw Soma rock out at the autumn festival or whatnot. So it's just interesting that they're so ignorant, right? And I get it. It's because the author just wants to show this is a bad situation. No one wants the rebels to win, but at the same time, like, come on, exercise some intelligence. But then again, it wouldn't be brainwashing unless people were being irrational, right? Whatever. Regardless, you know, I'm just happy that Soma's doing things and he's just making it look like it's effortless. And like, again, the bravado that Soma's carrying into this, I do think Soma is probably one of the better shonen protagonists right now, at least the ones that are running in Shonen Jump. Soma's definitely one of the better ones because he's a very competent character and he's a very forward-looking character. So seeing him like this, you know, we're seeing him at his best right now, and I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm pretty happy that he came up with such an ingenious thing when it came to cooking the noodles. And I'm sorry, I just dropped something. That was an accident on my part. Anyway, pretty simple chapter overall. It's just ultimately exposition on Soma's food and just that it's good food. We're gonna have to see the results next chapter. Anyway, let's end it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, I hope you have a really great day.